Single to Samuel. They need much more than just a single. They need boundaries and maximums. ACB maximums. ACB Caribbean maximum. You know, initially the bank was anti-commercial bank, but since they became a regional conglomerate, it's now ACB Caribbean.
Yeah. Wasn't the penny bank it started as?
Started as a penny bank. That is over 60 years ago. You remember taking your pennies there, Leroy?
No, no, I remember the name, but I wasn't taking pennies there at that time. That's 2 runs there to Jelani.
You were taking Sa'ata.
My mom probably was taking some there, but
Your mom
uh,
took the pennies and you took the Sa'ata.
3,
Is it
4,
that
5, 6.
Sa'ata Lewis, his photo, his picture is on the EC $100?
Yes. Single to Jelani. Score goes up to 110. So not a bad over for the Pythons so far. They have 10 runs out of this over. They could get a boundary here. That would really help their cause quite significantly. And this one might be the maximum. No, it's not. And a good catch there by Graham. Almost overran that ball, but was able to steady himself. And then with the tall hands just reaching up and plucking it out of the sky. So good effort there by Andra. Good over there by Samuel.
That's the end of the innings. I think the game started a little bit late, so
Yeah.
they're now playing 19 overs instead of 20. 19
Okay.
overs per side.
So what I'm understanding here, viewers, the um the game started a bit late, so time allotment has been over. So the Pythons have only been able to bat 19 overs, and so Rising Sun, they will also have 19 overs there.
So the score at the end of the All Saints Python innings
110 scorer, just to make sure we're, yeah. So 110,
for
yes,
six.
110 there, Colin. I think the All Saints team would have been a bit disappointed having won the toss and only put in 110 runs there. I think they would have been looking for more, maybe a 140, 150 or so. And so they would be a bit disappointed with their first half of this game.
Yes, but maybe while I agree with the assessment, and I think it's the correct assessment in terms of the meager total by the All Saints Pythons, I'm asking myself if there isn't some level of understanding of the total by the All Saints team, because having won the toss and chose to bat first, and knowing that the pitch is playing a little bit devilish, especially at the northern end, they, the All Saints team could be saying, well, we have a chance of exploiting any devils at that end.
Well, most definitely. Both teams have to bat on that same pitch. I guess the Rising Sun, they would be hoping that the pitch would die down in the next half of the innings. But let me just see if I could run through. Let me see if I can just run through the scorecard for our viewers and listeners. So as we said earlier, the Pythons, they won the toss and decided to bat. Michael Dover and Michael Marcelin, they opened the innings. Marcelin, he was first to go. He was caught by Taslo Allen off of the bowling of Joel Andrew. First delivery by Joel Andrew in the second over. He was able to grab that wicket there. And then in the same over, Michael Dover going for a big drive, and he was caught quite, I don't know if I should say clumsy, but quite acrobatically by Royal Richards there. Ball sticking between his thigh, and Joel Andrew picking up 2 wickets in his first over. Tyrone Payne, Marlon Joseph, they had a little partnership going along there. They added another 23 runs or so between themselves, and then we had Tyrone Payne. He was out for 12. Malone Joseph, he didn't really look permanent. He was just had some wild swings, and he made 9. He was LBW. Sutton, he played a nice little innings there, holding the innings together to the end. He made 26. Akeem Blackman, he contributed 9. Andrew Samuel gave the innings a little impetus in the latter part, making 26. And Jelani Mussington, he was not out on 8. The bowlers, we had Joel Andrew, as I said, he picking up 2 wickets. Melvin Charles, he's also picked up 2 wickets. Kerry Mento, he had 1. And Taslo Allen, he had a wicket also there. So, Colin, as they say in cricket, runs on the board is runs on the board. 110 runs, so 111 to get in 19 overs. Just a little bit over, what was that, 5 runs and over? If my math is 6, 9, 48, 6 1, just a little over 6 runs and over. No, that's well. All right, we'll do the maths for that. But it will be interesting to see how the Rising Sun approach this and how the Pythons would want to defend this, what appears to be meager total.
Yes, it should be easy going for the Rising Sun team, but if they were to lose a wicket or two in the first 3 to 4 overs, it could really put the cat among the pigeons. And if all Saints are able to exploit the suspected or the what we have seen happening at the northern end, that could be another story altogether. But they say cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties, and uh, stranger things are known to happen when when you're chasing a small total. So let's wait to see. We'll take a short break from the ACB Caribbean Parish League Thursday League match, which has been reduced from a T20 game to 19 overs per side because of a late start here at the Bachman playing field in All Saints. Rising Sun chasing 211 for victory. We'll be back after a short while.
Taddy, we still on? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome back to the Makpan playing field right here in the community in the village of All Saints, and nice weather condition. It's sun comes out in its glory, then it gives a little break, and then it gets nice and calm. But a very beautiful day for cricket, and so at this present moment we have a kind of cloud cover, so the sun is not really out. But the batsmen are out, and the Pythons they are on the field of play. They're ready to defend their total of 110 runs. While the Rising Sun batsmen out there, we have Joel Andrew and Kerry Mentor. So a very potent opening batting partnership there. And if they live up to any level of the expectation that we know of them, this would be an easy run chase there, Colin.
Yes, especially young Andrew certainly has a bright future ahead of him. I think one of the starlets of the Antiguan game, and I would dare say also Leeward Islands. I just wish that when he goes down to St. Vincent for the West Indies Rising Stars on the 19th tournament, that he will set the tournament alight and come home with a back full of runs. Back in the days when Antiguans go to the Leeward Islands on the 19th team and go to the youth tournament, we talk of the likes of how far we can go back, Taddy, in terms of Antiguans dominating in West Indies youth tournament. Richie Richardson played in the youth tournament. Hugo, 74. So, as I was saying, Andrew is one of those players that high hopes are expected of him in Antigua, and as well as Kerry Mentor was once with the All Saints team. Both batsmen were with the All Saints team. Do we say batsmen these days or batters?
Huh. They're interchangeable.
The ICC say they're batters.
They're batters. Oh,
The International
because
Cricket Council.
you want to universe it to batsmen and batswomen. So we call them batters, not batsmen.
They say it's gender neutral and gender
Well,
equity.
it's Michael Marcelin. He will looks like he's going to be opening the bowl in from the cook shop end. Give me that name again.
Janice Carter Cook Shop.
Janice Carter Cook Shop end. And for viewers, if you might be just seeing the edge of a green building there, the Janice Carter Cook Shop there. So
It's
remember,
very dark green. Yes, and she's there on the veranda watching as well.
okay, well, let's say good afternoon to Janice, and good to have you aboard here. So you're watching ACB Caribbean Parish League Cricket, and we're here at the Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League competition. All Saints Python versus the Rising Sun. Python having first strike and winning the toss and taking first strike. They made 110, 26 to Andrew Samuel and Kenny Sutton, and 2 wickets apiece to Joel Andrew and also Melvin Charles. So here's the start of the Rising Sun innings as Marcelin comes into Andrew, and that's a lovely pace and a load appeal, and he's gone. First delivery. He's caught behind, so excellent start, dream start for the All Saints Pythons. Big wicket of Joel Andrew going caught behind there without scoring.
Well, if the All Saints Pythons were ever dreaming of a great start, they couldn't ask for a better start than that one. Marsden has the knack of getting deliveries early in his spell, and true to form and true to his performances so far this season, he has struck and struck in his first delivery of the Rising Sun innings, and that certainly will put some spirits into the All Saints Pythons fielders.
Yeah, it will look like a very quick delivery. Can't tell from our angle, but look from here might have been just outside the off stump. Probably could have left it alone, but in the T20 format, you don't really find batsmen leaving deliveries alone. Always drawn to that delivery, looking for scoring opportunities, and so a dream start for the Pythons here in defense of their meager total of 110 runs here. Remember, they only facing 19 overs. Time allotted, the innings had to be closed off. And so the new batsman going to the crease there is Darren Benter.
Well, Benter certainly has changed his number because the number we have from him is 9 on the team sheet. He's now wearing number 12. Marcelin to Benter, and Benter is beaten outside of off stump. Quick delivery there, and good carry to the wicket keeper. Marcelin is pumped up.
Well, for sure that the Rising Sun Spartan, they have a very strong 1-2-3 punch here. Mentor, Benter representing the Antigua team. We know Kerry Mentor in his early days made it as far as to the West Indies B team. This one is a drive there, but coming up with nothing. So far, good start. 3 deliveries, a wicket, no runs. Can't get any better unless you'd have had a hat-trick there. And the Parish League circuit this year has had a volume of hat-tricks all around. So seeing a hat-trick at a Parish League game is not a novelty. It seems to be an everyday occurrence now. But Marcelin bustling in. And this one is on the pad and it's clipped there behind square. Oh, nicely timed there, running down. And so they come back for 2 runs. So the Rising Sun scorecard gets underway. 2 without loss. There have been some talk about the action of the bowler. I've heard in some quarters, some persons have said it could be a little suspect. This one again is clipped in the air, similar position. Does this one has a leg to make it to the boundary? No, it does. Again, good feeling by the man there, coming around to backward a square there, and they get 2 more runs. So Marcelin just losing it a bit, drifting onto the pads, and Benter gleefully accepting.
So it was Bossington having some work to do on the backward square leg boundary. Twice being called into action to field.
Well, quite a unique bicycle there. This one is popped into the air, and you could see the momentum now into the Pythons fieldsmen. They're running around quickly, throwing in the ball, and so at the end of over number 1, in pursuit of 111 for victory, the Rising Sun Spartans, they are 5 for 1.
Well, it was somewhat of a mixed over from Marcelin, the first of the Rising Sun innings, the first being bowled by a Python's bowler. He struck with his very first delivery, getting the prize wicket of Joel Andrew, caught by wicketkeeper Michael Dover for no score, but straying somewhat on the legs of Darren Benter, who has some class about him, some ability about him, and he was able to work him twice into the onside for a couple of twos, and also getting a single was also Kerry Mentor. Did Mentor face a delivery? Mentor hasn't faced us yet, so good going so far by Darren Benter, getting 5 runs in the over.
5 runs, yes.
And taking the score up to 5, and little good start in the so far by the Rising Sun team, but I think it's still even Stevens, so to speak, after the first over, because I haven't gotten a wicket in the first over, and that wicket of Joel Andrew. I don't want to use the word cock a hoop, but the All Saints Python fielders will be very much buoyed as we see M. Roy Lee picking up the attack from the Anthony Merrick end.
Well, M. Roy Lee coming into Darren Benter and really bustling into the crease there, coming right arm over. And so a dot ball to start the over. So the Pythons, they are ready to strike. This one is just chipped. Does it have the leg to get over? Just clearing the man there in Marcelin. You could see he was struggling to go back. And so a single there. Benter was trying to get it over the top. Didn't really get all of it. And it just managed to clear the man running back on the mid-on area there. So Kerry Mentor, he'll come into strike now to face his first delivery. Kerry Mento at his height was one of the most destructive batsmen, was very aggressive, always looking to get on with the game. But Emroy Lee, he really hustles in there. And this is a wild swing there because bouncing out onto the offside. And so another dot ball.
This is the point we have been making about modern day batsmen in the Caribbean. They're always looking to hit the ball powerfully rather than playing the ball into the gaps and getting the ones and the twos. Had he just eased that one between Marcelin and Payne, who is at point, and Marcelin in cover, he would have gotten a single or two.
Most definitely. This one is nicely driven straight, transfer run out, and he decided, the fieldsman there, that looks like Conroy Semple, fumbled it there. So ended up in being an easy single, so Mentor gets off the mark.
It's actually Malone Joseph who is fielding at that point position, a wideish point inside the circle.
So power play overs. This one is down the leg side and he's trying to help it along. Did get any bat onto it? It's running down. Don't have the legs to get into the boundary. Let's see what the umpire signal. If there's any signal. So leg by. So the score goes up by 1.
Ooh.
A chance for a catch there, and it just eluding the man there in the slip position. And so 4 runs to Mentor, flashing hard outside of the off stump, getting a thick outside edge, and the ball runs down into the vacant third man position for 4 more runs. And so at the end of over number 2, the score goes up to 12 for 1.
Well, they say if you're going to flash outside of the off stump, you're going to have to flash hard, and that's what Mentor did. There was a first slip field, a wideish first slip field, for deliberately placed for that shot, but it went over his head. And although the fielder was is tallish, and he jumped and got his hand up, it was over him for 4. 4 squeaky runs, you would want to say, by Mentor, but nonetheless, it's 4 runs to the total.
4 well accepted runs.
I kind of like the action of Lee. The second time I'm seeing him, remember Lee, he gets to the wicket in a hurry.
Yeah, he's really bustling in. That's what, when you say a bowler is bustling in, that's what you're seeing. He's
I
really
like the energy he brings.
Galloping there.
And he has a whipping action as well.
There's Marcelin now again, and this one, Bento is just back and just steering it into the offside there for a easy single.
I don't want to belabor the point about Marcelin's action because we said a bit about it last week, myself and Abdi Hughes, who is a coach and who had raised some concerns about his action on a Facebook post. But I don't think Marcelin's action is any worse than some international bowlers I've seen who look suspect. I know I'm being diplomatic, but what more can I say?
Well, Mentor, he's going to face up to Marcelin, who's bustling in from the... And a good stop there by the fieldsman there. That's number 12. Who's that? Teron Payne. So good effort there by Payne. Just lounging to stop that there. And so a single to Mentor. Score goes up to 14 without loss. 14 for 1. This one is cracked, square of the wicket. And it's running. Don't think it will have the legs to reach the boundary as Samuels run it down. And so 2 more runs to the batter there in Darren Benter. $16 for 1. I know these two had a feud a couple of years back. Marcelin felt he was very quick for Benter. Benter didn't feel that Marcelin could have bowled to him. Well, let's see now. This one is short, and he's going for a pull there, but not making any connection. And so a dot ball there. Is he hurt? Got it. By probably just trying to fight the pain there, not wanting to show the bowler any. Oh, the bat is broken.
Maybe he needs a new one.
Needs
I hope he brought his full repertoire of bats.
Well, I did see when he pulled up, and he had a very huge bag. So I'm assuming there are quite a lot of backup reserves in there. So
Well, Benter, he shouldn't be short of gear or gears and equipment because he would have gone all the way around the Caribbean at youth cricket, at uh, maybe franchise cricket as well to some extent, and with the Leeward Islands team. Uh, well, in terms of the Leeward Islands squad, let me put it that way because I know he went to St. Kitts late last year. Wasn't part of the team that played in the 4-day tournament. Uh, I gather that the Leewards are getting. Oh, I'm told that he experienced an injury while in St. Kitts, so didn't get into the team or into the squad. But he's hoping that he can, force his way into a Leeward Islands team. I still believe Leeward Islands are playing too many players who would have been tried and failed over the last 10, 15 years.
Isn't that the West Indies motto?
Ask Darren Sammy.
What is your take? I know you speak about Darren Sammy.
I'll give you it after this delivery from Marcelin.
Well, nicely steered there. Does it have the leg to make it to the boundary? Yes, it does. It's running down quite quickly to the vacant third man position. So nicely steered there, realizing the shot before could not get around on it, and this one he decided to just wait on it and steer it down. So 4 good runs to the bat of Darren Benter.
Deliberately played on with his mustard painted pads. Certainly looked the picture out there so far this afternoon. Deliberately steered, and I was going to ask you, Lewa, if you'd have brought in the third man now, and they're making the field adjustment by having the third man in. Good thinking by the All Saints team, but the horse has almost bolted.
Well, the All Saints team recognized they don't have much runs to defend, so they have to be able to mix aggression with defense. And this one is driven up the ground. Oh, nice pick up there by the fieldsman coming across there. Payne there, but probably just could not get his balance to get a real stronger and more accurate throw, and so they're able to steal a single there. And so after end of over number 3, the score goes up to 21 for 1.
Good going by the Rising Sun team. That was the third over of the innings, and you look at it from the context that they're scoring over 6 runs and over, and that's what they need to do. Yeah, get 6 runs.
7 runs and over to be exact.
Exactly 7 runs and over, and they're right there within the run rate. So Darren Sammy's talking about bringing back Sunil Narayan and Andre Russell and Lewis.
Hetmeyer, Ervin Lewis.
Well, Hetmeyer, the only problem I have with Hetmeyer, just love your game and play your game. Play the cricket. For Lewis, Narayan, and Russell, you're going back. You're supposed to be looking forward. Is Sammy trying to rekindle the past glories when he was captain?
Maybe Sammy himself might put on the whites too.
Logically speaking, I think you're on the right track with that suggestion.
Well, it's M. Roy Lee as he bustles in there from and this one is pushing to the onside, and they're running for a quick single. So these two batsmen, they're very sharp. They seem to have a good understanding between each other, and this is one of the things we did not see in the Pythons innings, not being able to recognize, the opportunity for these quick singles.
Yes, and we made the point when they were batting that they were too content in trying to pace the field by going for the big shot or the lofted drive.
This one is just tugged onto the onside, and the man comes across from a long on position, and 2 more runs added to the score.
It's going to be a contest between bat and ball, as if it wasn't and was not going to be. But the point I want to make is that the seamers are hitting the deck hard. They're being aggressive, and the batsmen are the measure to it.
This one is down the leg side. Oh, nicely played. Just helped on the way, and that rushes into the backward square boundary area there, and 4 lovely runs there. So that was really Emroy straight there onto the pads, and Mentor need no further in invitation, and deposited that for 4 lovely runs.
So good shot there by Mentor. That ball was always slanting down the onside, and he just helped it around the corner for 4 good-looking runs.
Well, so far, all Saints had a dream start, taking the wicket off of the first delivery. But from since then, it has been the experienced pair of Mentor and Benter really just cruising along. So partnership of 28. This one is again tugged into the onside, just to be a single. And so score goes up to 29. 29 for one. Batsman to go so far, Joel Andrew. He was caught off of the first delivery, caught behind by Michael Dover off of the bowling of Michael Marsland. So we're into over number 4. 2 more legal deliveries to go. He's beaten and he's allowed appeal, and he's looked like he's walking, and the umpire also is in unison with the appeal. And so Bento trying to be cute again, trying to run that down to the third man region, getting looks like a thin outside edge, and caught beautifully by the keeper there, Michael Dover. So a big wicket there, Colin, for the Pythons there.
Benter. Yeah, Darren Benter is the batsman who, not Mentor.
I said Kerry, sorry, my fault. Darren Bento.
Yes, this is good persistence from young Emroy Lee. I think, as I was saying in the previous 2 or 3 deliveries, that the bowlers are attacking the batsmen, and the batsmen are going after the bowlers. And that's precisely what happened there on that occasion. Although it was not an attacking shot by Mentor, he was trying to play that delicate, cute little steer away from the wicketkeeper and away from the stip fielder. But instead, the pace of the delivery was just too much for him, and he got a little nick onto it, and the wicketkeeper, Michael Dover, who's standing up at the wicket, took a nice catch. Smart bit of cricket between the bowler and the wicketkeeper, in my estimation.
Most definitely. So we have the new batsman walking out there. That is Melvin Charles.
What was Benter's score?
I have 15. I don't know what our official scorer has. 15? 15, yes, 15.
And it's 28 for 2?
19. I have 19 for 29 for 2. One more legal delivery to go. So
the Python Pacers have been told to be aggressive, and they're doing as being instructed by their coach.
well, I think the Pythons are quite aware that the only chance or opportunity for them to win this game, they have to take wickets. There's no way they're going to be able to contain this batting in 19 overs, and so they have to give themselves every opportunity to take a wicket. And this one, Charles is immaculately forward, head right over the delivery and just hitting it into the onside. So the end of a successful over there by M. Royley. And so at the end of 4 overs, chasing 111 for victory, they are 29 for 2.
So a good little comeback over there by M. Royley. I say comeback in the context that he was
Well, come back in the context, Colin, of the team, because they got a wicket off of the first delivery, and then the Pythons started to score relatively freely going along, and so that wicket, well, for the Pythons' sake, hopefully will put a little brakes on the scoring rate.
yes. I was going to also make the point to that he would have been struck for at least 2 boundaries in his first 2 overs, and he persevered. He believed in himself. He backed himself, and kept a nice line outside of off stump with some pace, and that was the undoing. I like to see young fast bowlers running in and bowling fast and quick.
As a loud appeal again, and is umpire Baltimore. The All Saints team, they are quite confident that that should have been out, but the umpire, Baltimore, who's in the best position, he decided that that would not have hit the stump, and the disbelief, you could see it on the faces of the Pythons team. They know this is a big wicket, but umpire Bertel Baltimore said not out, and so they'll have to try again. So good going there. The Pythons, their tail is up, just getting a big wicket of Benter, looking to make further inroads. So it's Marcelin to Benter, and this one is on the hip quickly, turning it there, and so no run, so the pressure is on.
Charles, our mentor, sorry, must be riding on a lotto ticket. His luck must be up.
Mentor.
Mentor. Marcelin to Mentor, and Mentor is cracking this one down to third man. He initially thought that it was going a little bit more squarer than fine, and the ball taking a 360 or maybe a 180-degree turn when it hit the patch outfield here at the back point playing field, and Payne was able to come around to his right, and after the ball take a turn, he was able to field and send back the return. By then, Mentor was just ambling down the track for a single when he thought he was going to get four for it. Marcelin looks at the Johnny's Carter cook shop and turns from the northern end. And this delivery is a quick, short pitch delivery. And umpire Bertel Baltimore is signaling that's one for the over. One short pitch so far in the over. This is a good contest. I love this. It's pace.
That was a quick one there.
Against the batters. Who will win it? Marcelin is not afraid. He's in his third over, right?
Yeah, this is third over.
Yes, and this might be his last for a little while. Here he comes in again to Charles, and Charles is flicking this one away.
Nicely played on the pad. That deserves four, and it crashes into the boundary. Four lovely runs.
Good contest between bat and ball on this occasion. The bat winning on this occasion, but had he missed that, and that had cannon into his pads, I don't think umpire Baltimore would have had any hesitation. And this is what I like about this contest between the two opening bowlers for All Saints and the Rising Sun batsmen. They're making it a contest. Neither is giving an inch.
Well, and that's the cricket we want to see. You want to see bat and ball battling each other. This one is full, is driven up the onside, and so a single to Charles. So that brings the over to an end. So 5 overs in the bag, one more over to go for the power play. 35 for 2 in over number 5. So the scoring rate is pretty healthy, 7 runs and over. These two batsmen, they would want to probably stay there for quite a bit, bring this score as close as possible to the target. Whereas the Pythons, they are trying to keep taking wickets at regular interval to really pull back the scoring rate, and also to push the Rising Sun Spartans on their back foot. But it's going to be M. Roy Lee, so it's all-out pace for the power play.
That was a very optimistic appeal by Lee and the rest of the All Saint Pythons fielders. No way that one was going to interest the umpire's attention, except just to nod his head and said no.
Exactly.
In quiet, in a quiet way. Lee will try again. He's coming from an end that is named after a very famous fast bowler in Antigua and the Caribbean, Anthony the Bomb Merrick.
Merrick, remember that name. Another dot ball there.
So what area of the ground will you name after Winston Benjamin?
You would have to tell me, Colin. I'm not too familiar with the ground. You would have to tell me what's going on here. This is your backyard. This is your playground.
Well, maybe we should say the Merrick Benjamin Inn.
Lee trying to put his mark on this ground. And this is pushed into the offside there. So putting some pressure onto the batsman after getting that wicket. 4 consecutive dot balls. This is what his captain would want and would need. Three in the over. Yeah, but after taking the wicket.
Was that a chance of a catch going down the onside? No.
Leg by
Leg by signal
signal.
by the umpire. Clearly coming off the pad. I've managed to entice the interest of Sir Andrew Mason.
Ah.
I sent him the link for the live feed, and
Ah.
I asked him to watch and give his comments. He said, "I will." So ACB Caribbean Parish League Subdivision Thursday League is going places.
Well,
Has
that's what
gone
the
places.
Antigua Parish League Network is about. We're here to bring sports, local sports, to every corner of Antigua and Barbuda, and by extension, all over the globe. And so, good bowling so far by Emroy Lee so far. Just a leg bye coming out of this over. So he'd want to finish this over strongly. He finished with a dot ball or maximum a single. He would really feel that he would have accomplished the goal for his team, and a bonus would really if he could take a wicket off of this final delivery. And this one is high and hard. I think it has the legs, and yes, it does. So Kerry Mentor deciding had enough of this pushing and prodding and hitting that handsomely over the long on boundary for 6 beautiful runs. So at the end of over number 6, the score goes up to 42. 42 for 2 in pursuit of 111 for victory.
Good going by Mentor, the captain of the Rising Sun team, really leading from the front and literally doing so as the opening batsman of this team. And that was a handsome hit over long on for 6. Well, if the All Saints Pythons are going to retain any chance of clawing their way back into this game, the man they need to get, and they need to get now, is none other than Kerry Mentor.
Most definitely.
It's just about 5:26 in St. John's, Antigua. Looking at my world clock, what other times are they in, that would interest you across the world, Leroy?
5:26. We know for sure it's just about 10:26 in the on Uncle Big Ben.
It's 2:27 in Karachi, Pakistan.
Ooh.
2:57 in New Delhi, India. Johannesburg, 11:27 p.m.
Fire, man.
Brasilia, 6:27 p.m. Qatar, Doha, 12:27 a.m. Abu Dhabi, 1:27. Well, we can go on and on and on and on and on about it. But we're
So
streaming all over the world.
is that Maslin or that's a new bowler? So Maslin.
Samuel,
So it's
Andrew
the captain,
Samuel.
Andrew Samuel, now replacing Maslin from the Janice Cook shop end. And again, starting with a dot ball. I must say, most of the bowlers today, they have been able to start most of their overs with that dot ball. First ball of this innings was a wicket. 6:42.
Samuel again. Stayed away nicely by Charles. So it's a very interesting period of play now.
Yeah, Colin, after 7 overs, after 6 overs, the Rising Sun, they were 42. After 6 overs, the Pythons, they were 32 for 2. So that one is tugged onto the onside, and does it have the leg to get into the boundary? Yes, it does. So 4 runs there to Mentor. So Mentor decided he's not going to be doing any quick running now. Just hit a 6, and now he hit a boundary. So score rushes up to 47.
Mentor, I don't think wants to exert himself by running between the wicket too much, so he's using the long handle of the blade. Previously, he got the ACB Caribbean maximum.
Well, they've made an adjustment and they've sent the man there wide, and this one is crashed into the offside to a deep cover, and they get a single. Score goes up to 48. 48 for 2. And not as quick as
He's out.
he's out. Wow, that looked so
Simple. So
simple
easy.
there.
So
Kind of
casual.
lost sight of the ball there a while ago. There was Charles trying to go for a big drive, but only finding the man there in the mid-off area and
Marcelin.
being caught
Marcelin.
caught by Marcelin.
Yes.
So Marcelin taking that one out of the sky, and another wicket goes. Another wicket goes with the score on 48.
Owen Graham, new batsman coming in to replace Charles, as the third wicket has gone down for 48 runs. So, although Rising Sun are scoring at a fair clip, they're losing wickets at an interval that they would not want to, at intervals that they would not want to.
And I'll say this to you, Colin, if the Spartans would go on to lose this game, then they would definitely say that they would be 20, 25 runs short. So we're still one more legal delivery to go in over number 7. 48 for 3. So the captain Samuel's coming on and making a breakthrough for his team. And Graham is steering or getting a thick outside edge down to the third man region, and they easily come back for 2 more runs. So the 50's up. 50's up for the Rising Sun Spartan in pursuit of 111 for victory. After 7 overs, they have 50 for 3. So a further 61 runs. 61 runs required, Colin, from 13 overs.
Very doable for the Rising Sun team, but the All Saints Pythons would have other ideas. The Spartans, representing Rising Sun, will be hoping that these 2 batsmen can take them to their victory target, and All Saints will be hoping that the support cast to Marcelin and Lee will be effective enough that they can peg back the Rising Sun batsmen. So far, it's a good contest between bat and ball, although Rising Sun has the edge going into the
over number 8. Well, Colin, what I would say, if we look at the lineup for the first 5 batters for the Rising Sun Spartans, I mean, in their heyday, well, okay, Joel Andrew is just making his mark. All these batsmen could be top batsmen in the Antigua team, so it's a very experienced, a very qualified top batting lineup that the Rising Sun Spartans have. So there's a new bowler coming from the pavilion end, and this one is just creeping through there on Kerry Mentor. Not certain there what was happening, and no signal. So I know sloppy fielding here by the Pythons there. They can't afford to give away these runs. So an overthrow there. So 2 runs to Kerry Mentor.
Branca is a new bowler,
Branca.
creating a stir right away from that end, the northern end, which we say is a suspect for the slow bowler. Launching out is a Mentor, but dropping safely in front of the fielder on the long off fence. Only single. Graham comes in to strike. Branca.
This one, he's trying to hit the cover off of that was Owen Graham, but just getting it out there on the square boundary for a single. Score moves up to 54. 54 for three. Another single to Kerry Mentor. Trying to be cute there was Graham, but uh, missing that, not taken by the keeper. That was a little wide there. Graham was going for the uppercut, but he missed it completely. And so the end of the first over from Mark Branca coming from the pavilion, and yeah, that conceded 5 runs. And so at the end of over number 8, the score moves up to 55 for 3 in pursuit of 111 for victory. Remember, they are going to have 19 overs available to them as the innings was cut off, so not the full 20.
But still good going by the Rising Sun team, although they would have lost the wicket in the previous over. And that was a very interesting over bowled by Branca. He consistently tested the batsman outside of off stump and maybe could have had a wicket in his first delivery had the ball been guarded keenly by the wicketkeeper. Samuel continues, and this one is hit high in the air. It has gone a long way out of the park. Out of the park. That's another ACB Caribbean maximum struck by Kerry Mentor. It was in his slot, and he just leant onto it and hit it high, hard, over, long off for 6 looking runs.
Well, as we said before, Kerry Mentor seems to want to up the game, not too interested in running, and that was really a handsome shot, as you said, an ACB Caribbean maximum there, and that sailed over the long off boundary out of the park. And this is not a small park, it's still sizable, and that really went way out. So that was a big hit. So let's see what Samuels will come back with here. Not a quick bowler by any stretch of the imagination, so he's going to have to depend on variation of speed, just mixing it up a bit with his line and length. And this one a little bit quicker. Just saying he wasn't a quick bowler, but Colin looked like he bent his back there and pushed that one through a bit quicker there on Mentor.
He has a very deceptive bowling action. He comes off a fairly shortish run, not more than maybe 10 paces, but he has a whipping action.
This one is chopped. There's a chance for a run out, and there's an appeal, and the umpire signals not out. So that was a good bounce there for the fieldsman. He was able to pick that up and have a good throw. But Graham generally is very quick between the wickets, and so he was able to make his ground comfortably in the end.
This one is turned around the corner by Graham. Looks at the possibility, or looked at the possibility of a single, but it was non-existent. It wasn't on. Settles again.
Colin, we should also, after this delivery, we should also take this opportunity to offer our commendations and congratulations to one of the Pythons player member, Azari Joseph, for capturing the Sportsman of the Year award. And He hails right from this cricket club, cricket team here. And here is Graham lofting this one high. Does it have the legs to carry? Yes, it does. It looks like it's yes, it's gone. So here's Graham just helping that on the pad there high, and it cleared the forward of square boundary. And so another maximum in this over. So 13 runs coming out of this over. And so at
That
the end of over number 9, the score races on to 68. 68 for 3, 68 for 3. So a further 43 runs needed for victory in 10 overs.
that would have been so far maybe the most expensive over bowled by
Uh,
an all-Saint Python bowler. Uh,
yes,
two
yes,
sixes
you are
and a
correct.
single.
Yep, we had two
Two
sixes.
ACB Caribbean maximums.
Maximum, yes. So that, yes, that's definitely in over number 9, having 13 runs coming out of it. So a bit expensive there. And that's a dot ball there.
Yes,
First ball there by
Branca.
Branker.
And let me also join in congratulating Alzari Joseph on being named Antigua and Barbuda's Senior Sportsman of the Year. And should also offer commendations to Kimberly Percival for being the Sportsman of the Year.
Most definitely.
She
And
did it in bodybuilding, or is it
yes.
body physique?
And to all of the athletes, who were nominated, we just want to congratulate them and encourage them to keep trying to excel at
And
their respective disciplines.
and to those national associations who didn't nominate an athlete, do better next time.
Make it work.
Because the athletes deserve the recognition. It's not about the association, it's about the athlete.
True, true, true.
Without the athletes, there is no association. There will always be athletes.
This one, Graham is trying to hit it hard, but not really getting any timing, so it just bubbles down the ground for a single. One coming off of a thick outer half of the bat. I do think that's where he really wanted to hit it anyway. Maybe not as fine as it went, but nonetheless, the results that he wanted, he got. And 4 runs there to Kerry Mentor. And so the score goes up to 74. 74 for 3. So, Colin, the time is about right when the Pythons, they need to take a wicket, as this game is going to really get away from them.
Well, they need to be snarling now. Really need to be coming out of their hiding if they are. They can't be hiding looking to strike. They have to strike and strike now. If they're going to live up to the name of.
So 10 overs in the bag, 74 for 3. Scoring rate of 7.4 runs. They have been very consistent. They have kept that scoring rate just about at 7 runs and over for most of this innings. And so, in terms of the run rate, there's no pressure. Yes, they may have felt a little wobble losing those 3 wickets, but so far we have a partnership of about 26.
I don't know why young Shamar Pereira is not part of the All Saints team for this game, but he looked a little
Still on?
nice to the player last Thursday, at least opening the innings. Maybe it's school commitments.
I'm still on? Yes. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, sorry about that, Colin. You were saying?
No, I was saying I was a little bit surprised when Shamar Pereira was not part of the All Saints Pythons and batting lineup. Last week he played a nice little cameo and looked a good prospect, but maybe school commitments or some other commitment might have
Not here
caused
today.
him not to be here today.
Good. So it looks like there's going to be a new bowler coming from the.
This is Kenny Sutton from the
Oh my,
Johnny
that is a
Scarter
no
Cook
ball.
Shotton. Wide
And
signal.
no ball.
Should be a no ball.
Squareless signal, no ball, and the standing umpire now signals no ball.
No
So
ball.
that's going to be a free hit. Graham is going right across the line, but doesn't have the legs, so
Wait,
they just get a single.
that's a travesty. The fielder didn't make an attempt to turn that one into a catch.
I think he just felt it was a free hit, so he realized that it
Well,
would not have been out, so it would have
my
been a single
apologies.
anyway.
My apologies.
So
I
he
take
just
it back.
decided to play the safe way. And this one is high. Does it have the legs to go? Two fieldsmen going across, and none of them can catch it. And it goes over the boundary. 6 runs. So Kerry Mentor, as I said, he's starting to deal in boundaries. He's getting a bit ominous for the Pythons team here. Score goes up to 82.
Another big hit there by Mentor. Not getting the maximum he might have been looking for, but getting 4, getting a boundary, and those runs count as well.
This one, he's coming forward, covering everything, and dot ball there. So good comeback there by the bowler, Kenny Sutton.
There's definitely some hope for the future in terms of cricket because looking to your right, there's a little pickup game going to start soon.
Ah. This one, he's swinging again across the line. Not a very good shot there by Mentor. Was not close to that delivery, and he just had a swing across the line. Ill-advised shot. Luckily for him, he's still there. This one is high and hard again. Does it have the legs? And it is gone again. So Kerry Mentor has turned up the ante.
That's what you call a captain's knock
50?
so far. Leading from the
How much
front,
he have?
taking charge of the bowling, and really batting himself and his team into a winning position. 4 good-looking ones there.
50? So that's his 50 there, Colin. We just missed that ago. He's on 53 now. 53 runs, so very good innings there. Good captain innings leading from the front, Colin.
Yes, I've been making that point, and you have just echoed those sentiments I would have made previously. And certainly good going by Kerry Mentor. And I can't see Rising Sun faltering, chasing just 111 runs, and they're now 90.
Is that what? No ball signal by the umpire, so the bowler probably just getting a bit ruffled there by those big hits by Mentor and just overstepping, and so that is a cardinal sin committed there. And that one is punched down to the outside. Oh my, and the fieldsman overrunning the ball, and in trying to correct that, he slid, and so 4 runs, so not a very good over there for
Sutton.
Sutton or
the
the All
Pythons.
Saints team, and the score rattles on to 93. 93 for 3.
Well, Malone Joseph thought he had that ball covered as he sprinted across to his right on the cover, the sweeper cover position on the ropes, but the ball took a wicked turn to the left, and by the time he realized it and he was looking to go the opposite way to his left, he was searching for his footing and just couldn't make any firm contact or any firm position with the position he was, and the ball went for 4 runs.
Here is Branca drifting down the leg side, and Graham just helping that along the way. So 4 more runs. So they're cantering along now. Looks like a walk in the park. Score rattles up to 97. 97 for 3. 14 more runs needed.
This one is over by the shouting.
Well, we'll take a miracle. We'll take another hat trick. As I said, we have had quite a few hat tricks in the Parish League competition this year. Oh, I've been told don't bother with that. There'll be no hat tricks here. This one is short outside the off. Some of them is cut down just behind point there, and they come back for 2 runs.
I was going to ask you, what is the attraction of the Rising Sun team this season to be attracting so many quality players for the Sir Richard Stirs League?
Yeah, they have quite a lot of. I'm telling you, oh, that's a big heave there by Graham, but he missed it there, trying to finish the game in a hurry there.
Both Graham and Mentor would have been playing since last season. Graham for a long, long time. But with the likes of Benter and Andrew, they certainly have up the ante in terms of the quality in their team.
Wide signal by umpire
And
there.
although both Benter and Andrew didn't really trouble the scorers too much, Benter only getting 15 and Andrew for a first ball
Uh,
duck
I
up the.
think that's the 100 up there. Now 101.
Does the female scorer, Shemena, is she scoring for Rising Sun?
Yes, she is.
Oh, that's why she's so excited about the
Oh, you
ranches.
could feel it. You could feel it, huh? You could feel it.
Yes, yes.
But Colin, let me ask a question. And
Oh
oh,
my,
that's a
what is this?
bad delivery, and that's helped along the way by Mentor. 4 more runs, so Mentor goes up to 57 according to our scorer. The score goes up to 105. 61. What's wrong with my scoring? 61
Is
for
it, is
Kerry
it
Mentor.
is our scorer the mother of Sidoni?
Pardon me?
The scorer. She
Uh-huh.
has a daughter who plays for Leeward Islands
Yes,
and
yes,
Antigua.
yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
So this has been a master innings by Mentor. Struggled a bit sometime, but then he has turned up the pressure. And this time he's just coming right forward and killing that.
It seems as if Rising Sun has not only enticed Mentor, who from the All Saints Pythons and Joel Andrew, they have also enticed the former manager of the All Saints Pythons, Miles Bakker.
Well, the recruiting team on the Rising Sun team, it seems to be doing a good job. They're bringing in the big stars to uplift their game, and it'll be interesting to see. I wanted to see where they are on the standing there, because with this lineup, I would expect them to be.
So kudos as well to John, the coach
Yes,
of the Rising Sun team.
yes, we got to give him credit.
He's also the chief curator at Rising Sun and other cricket fields around Antigua, or pitches maybe. He does a lot. He does human service in preparing pitches across Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, he does.
One of those persons, when you're in sports, you'd want around you. He does everything. I wouldn't describe him as a jack of all trades, but he
But
certainly
Colin,
gets the job done.
we were just talking about the Rising Sun, the caliber of players
Yes, I was just
in
saying
their
a few
team,
things until you got
and
to that.
I'm just looking at the point standing here. They would have played two. Rising Sun would have played 2 games. They would have won one, lost one. So I guess it's still early to form a consensus as if the caliber of players are really working good together. But Marcelin is coming in for a final burst, and this one is trying to be held on the onside, but it peels off of the edge and goes into the offside. And Graham is pointing out something to the umpire. I don't know if it has to do with the amount of men inside of the circle, only 3 men, and the umpire is not interested in that. So a single goes up to 106. 106.
Our score is trying to tell us that Rising Sun maybe didn't have their best squad for the first game, but from since last week, they have improved and improved tremendously.
So far, Colin, MAHICO is the only unbeaten team. We don't know how their game is going today. They have played two and won all two. Liberta, All Saints, Pickett, and Rising Sun all have similar standing. 1-1, lost one. And Police, the defending champion, they're the ones who are struggling. They are 0-2. So this definitely is one in the bag for the Rising Sun team.
Well, Rising Sun has come a long way from what they were, let's say, about 5 years ago. They certainly have improved, and might have been a little bit of a tad disappointing that they didn't play in the Cool and Smooth T20. But that's a discussion for
That
another
one is
afternoon.
peeling off of the edges, running down to the boundary. Does it have the legs? I don't think so. The fieldsman is able to pull it just inside of the rope, and they come back for 2 more runs. So the score goes up to 108. 3 more runs needed.
I think the Rising Sun players and supporters would say they couldn't have done worse than Bethesda in the Kona Smooth T20.
So Marcelin trying to bring something for his team. That was a short one and really had Mento in a little awkward position. Last moment was trying to run that down to a third man region, but I think he was already beaten there, Colin,
Yes,
by that extra yard of pace.
yes, and it was wide of our stump, so no need to have gone after it as well.
3 more runs needed.
You know, they say hindsight is 20/20 vision. Probably had All Saints bowl Marcelin through. He might have been able to take a wicket or two in his last over, and that could have maybe make a difference.
Well, I felt at the point in time they had nothing to lose. I felt they just didn't score enough runs, and they should have kept on with the two opening bowlers, see if they could have pry another wicket. This batting lineup is a very solid one, and if any one or two of these batsmen get going, it could spell disaster for any team. Now he comes around the wicket, and he's
Mentor
trying to.
is very
Is that a no
respectful.
ball? No. Let me see. There's something happening here. They seem to be calling the captain. The two umpires are going to have a conversation with the captain. Not too certain what the concern is. See them pointing at the wicket.
Maybe he's running onto the pitch. He's backing up to some extent on the pitch. Maybe close to the batting crease.
So the captain is now speaking to his player, probably relating to him what the umpire's concern is. So let's see what happens here as he's coming around the wicket. Is that a free hit signal? I'm not understanding. This one is coming off of the bottom of the bat there, and a single. So I have 109. Is that what you have, scorer? 109 for 3 after the end of over number 12. So Colin, 2 more runs, and then this one is in the bag.
Well, it's a mere formality, unless there's something of a seismic proportion that would interrupt the game.
Colin, you would have to tell me what would be so seismic that could change the outcome of this game.
Yes, I'm searching the crevices of my intelligence to come up with something that would suggest that something could happen. But I don't think anything would happen except that Rising Sun will go home winning their second game on the trot in this ACB Caribbean Subvented Thursday League T20 contest.
Most definitely. So it's going to be, looks like it's Emroy Lee who will come back. And so the Pythons are throwing everything they have still. And this one is just back of a length. And a chance for a run out. Graham there was thinking that would have been a single, but Mentor had no intention of going anywhere. So it's going to be Emroy Lee. Comes in for his last over. Can he complete it? This one is just casually steered there into the offside and easy single. So the scores are now level, 110. So can it just be a super over, Colin? What
Not a
happens if rain
chance.
comes right now? What happens?
Rain.
Okay,
I'm
I've
looking
just
to
been
the
told we're in the
east.
14th over, so we win.
I don't think there's a rain dancer in all sense. I've never seen one in my 57 years of living here.
And Graham is going high and hard, and that's the game. The ball bounces. One doesn't look like it may have the legs to reach to the boundary. It doesn't, and
Doesn't matter
so
either.
doesn't need to, but they have run two just to make sure. And that's the end of the game. And so congratulations to the Rising Sun team. Colin, they would have played the better cricket today that we would have saw. They batted better than the Rising Sun team. They bowled much better. And so at the end of the day, the deserving victors, Rising Sun Spartans.
Congratulations to them. Well deserved. They bowled well when they were in the field. They had only 19 overs to bowl because the game started late, so the umpires deducted one, and they were able to restrict All Saints to 110 for 6 of 29 overs. 2 wickets each for Graham, Andrew, and one each for Charles and Mentor. And then when they batted, Kerry Mentor hit a blistering half century, unbeaten on
65?
65, and
Yeah.
along with Owen Graham, who was there with him at the end, they took the score from 48 for 3 up to 111 for without any further loss. So that partnership yielding what? 63 runs.
63 runs, yes.
63 good looking runs. And although Marcelin took a wicket off the very first ball of the Rising Sun pattern innings, where he had Joel Andrew caught at the wicket for no score, and then M.Y. Lee striking, removing the danger man Darren Benter for 15, 29 for 2. And then Andrew Samuel taking the wicket of Melvin Charles for 6, 48 for 3. It was always down to the hard-hitting approach by Mentor, who took it away from the All Saints Pythons, getting to 65, and along with Graham, who was unbeaten on
21.
21, taking them comfortably to 111 for 3 off
Off of
14 overs.
13.3 overs.
13.3 overs. So
My maths
congratulations to the Spartans, commiserations to the Pythons, and to the management staff of the Rising Sun team. Congratulations. We say also we also say a recognition to our umpires, Calvin Thomas and Bertel Baltimore, and to all of those of you who took the time out to watch on the Facebook live stream or listen through whatever social media medium. We say thank you for being part of our company this afternoon. On behalf of any closing thoughts from you, Leroy?
Well, Colin, as I said, it was a good game and well played by the Rising Sun
13.3.
team. They comfortably took home this chase, and we have to say congratulations. I think the Pythons, they would have had some different feeling after the first delivery, getting that wicket of Joel Andrew. They probably felt that they were in with a chance, and then getting Darren Benter along the way. But it's all getting noisy here, guys. We want to say big up to Mama and Herbert. Nice to have you on board. And also John was here with us today. And so we got to get going out of here now. We'll see you on Saturday in the Dave Joseph competition. And so on behalf of Colin James and myself, our technicians, Taddy Arundel, scorers, umpires, we want to wish you a good evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Next Thursday.
We might be back Saturday for the Dave Joseph.